Welcome back. It's time now to take a look at the top business stories. ADX to host first IPO in 2 years at the end of the month. Foreign direct investments to rise 30% this year. And we get an insight on what to expect from the property market in the first quarter of this year. The GCC markets closed in negative territory today, and also the UAE bourses ended in the red. The DFM fell 1.25% to close at 1,594 points. The property sector posted losses as Arab Tech dropped 3%, while EMA fell over 1.75%. In the banking sector, Dubai Islamic Bank fell over 0.75%, and Emirates MBD lost over 0.25%. DO dropped 1.25%. DP World fell over 1.75%. 79 million shares were traded, valued at 111 million dirhams. Meanwhile, in the capital, the ADX fell 1.25% to close at 2,683 points. Abu Dhabi Commercial Bank lost over 0.75%, and Abu Dhabi Islamic Bank fell 1.25%. Alder Properties dropped 2.75%, and Sur Real Estate fell nearly 0.75%. In the energy sector, Dana Gas fell nearly 2%, while TAQA dropped over 2%. 53 million shares were traded, valued at 77 million dirhams. And now it's time to take a look at the GCC markets, which ended mixed today. Coming up now, let's take a look at various currencies exchanged into dirhams, followed by the price of oil and a selection of commodities. And now to our top stories. Abu Dhabi-based company Insurance House plans to launch a 58.7 million dirham initial public offering on the 27th of February. That's the first IPO in the UAE in 2 years. ADX Deputy CEO Rashid Al-Balushi also said the exchange is moving very fast to step up to the requirements of the index provider MSCI to receive an emerging market classification. This type of status will be fundamental in improving liquidity into the markets, as well as increase international investor interest. The launch has fueled speculation over a potential tie-up between the ADX and DFM. Officials are also currently looking at reaching out to family-owned companies about the benefits of going public. Foreign direct investments into Dubai are expected to rise by 30% this year. Senior officials at the Foreign Investment Office account this to increased interest from South American and Chinese firms. Fahid Al-Ghagawi, CEO of the FIO, says they are inundated with companies wanting to set up shop here, from food and retail to finance. A recent report revealed that the UAE is the most attractive investment destination in the Middle East over the next 3 years, ranking 11th worldwide. The UAE has signed a $1.3 billion power plant deal with Korea's Electric Power Corporation and Japan's Sumitomo Corp. The gas thermal power plant agreement, held under the Abu Dhabi Water and Electricity Authority, will be delivered by March 2014 in a city west of Abu Dhabi. As a part of the deal, Korean engineering and construction company Daewoo will develop a $650.3 million project. Officials say overall funds for the development will be raised from foreign banks that will be covered by selling electricity produced by the plant to ADWEC over 25 years. And in our fast financial news, a third offer for the 25% stake in Zain's Saudi Arabia unit has been announced by the Kuwaiti telecoms company. A Saudi firm linked to the Al Riyadh group has made a non-binding offer. This comes alongside offers from Saudi investment company Kingdom Holding and Bahrain's telecoms firm Batelco. Mubadala Development announced the launch of its new firm Bayanat LLC for mapping and surveying services. The company has emerged from the military survey department and will offer its services to both the private and public sectors. The United Arab Shipping Company finalized a 1.1 billion dirham loan to finance the takeover of 3 A13 ships. Out of the 9 new orders it made 3 months ago, 70% is financed from the Export-Import Bank of Korea and the remaining 30% from 3 other global institutions. And looking at international business, Germany's Deutsche Börse will take over New York Stock Exchange Euronext in a deal valued at $110.2 billion. The combination will create the world's largest financial markets exchange, but there's no name for the new company. A sign there are sensitivities in Europe and the US about control. That could derail the deal, according to analysts. The details were announced at a press conference held in both New York and Frankfurt. Despite the fact that Deutsche Börse will hold 60% of the new entity, leaders from both sides insist this is a merger and not an acquisition.
It is structured and balanced in a way that no party will dominate the other one. Europe, not the US, and the US, not Europe. The concept is great. Now we have to execute.
And Japan's economy is being helped by its Asian trading partners with high hopes for a comprehensive trade deal with growing powerhouse India. Indian exports are seen exceeding $220 billion in the current year, with a target of 15% growth. However, the government is looking to cement ties with the world's number 2 economy, Japan. Commerce Minister Anand Sharma, on a visit to Tokyo, inked a deal on Wednesday that is expected to boost bilateral trade tenfold.
India is today the second fastest growing economy, and we are bound to see in the coming years and decades exponential growth in India in diverse sectors, for which we invite and welcome Japanese partners, your industry and your institutions.
And after the break, we take a look at Dubai's property sector.